that a golf clap? So, again, guys, I just want to make it fun. Here today, we're going to do this first, and then I'll touch on some of the other stuff. So, me and John both were from Keller Williams Skin at the time. And is anybody here from Keller Williams? Anybody work for them? Keller Williams, they are very big into the DISC test. Has anybody ever heard of the DISC test?
Yes.
Okay, it's pretty wild is what it is. And Keller Williams is very prominent in making sure they place people in the right position. Meaning they don't want a driver to be in a room punching on a computer all day, right? Because that doesn't charge you batteries. And so that's why they go on the personality styles. And if you go to the back page of your handout, there's a fill in the blank right there. And so today, guys, again, we're here to have a little bit of fun. But I think it's important to know who you are and who you are when you're talking to somebody and what their personality style is, especially today. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I see more people today in the last 2 years or 5 years that are absolute batshit crazy than I've ever seen in my life. John, is there a personality style crazy or shit?
I think there's a switch that gets flipped when real estate gets involved.
It has to be, because I've never seen so many crazy people in my life. I mean, it blows my mind. So, John, you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, I mean, Keller Williams went as far as they went DISC, and they were doing Myers-Briggs, and then they created their own entire testing system. I mean, they dumped millions of dollars into that, assessment, but it was all built to designate, certain personality profiles for certain job positions. So, I don't know if you guys heard the DISC class I did a little while back, but they had a job profile even for the front desk person. And usually at Keller Williams, that front desk person is there for a really long time because they will not, go outside of that personality assessment at all, right? It has to check every single box because if they keep flipping people, not only does it mess with people coming in, but it messes with the agents coming in. They like normalcy. They like seeing the same person and they know what they get. So it's all super important.
Yeah, and they, like you said, they go deep into it as well. So if you haven't done everything that says, I think it's interesting. I don't know. I remember it used to cost a couple $100.
Oh yeah, those were expensive.
Yeah, and I think you can get them done a lot less expensive today than they used to be. But the important thing is, and I didn't realize this either, is once you do the test, you have to have somebody then read it to you to make sure they explain
The
it.
test alone is just paper.
Yes.
Like it'll just say this could be you, right? Until you actually sit down with someone and they validate it, the results, and they go through and they say, basically it was on a scale of 1 to 10, how accurate is the statement? And then you get to say, well, okay, so we got some work to do. And then we keep asking questions until you completely agree with it. And then once you completely agree with everything, we get all 10s all the way through, then you know for a fact this is you. You don't have to guess. This is your blueprint on who you are and how you respond.
Yeah, and like I said, I did a long time ago. And the whole time, man, I'm thinking the whole time, this is nuts. I don't believe in it. I think it's all silly. Like I said, we're just kidding.
Pokey foo-foo stuff.
Yeah, like some of the questions, what's your favorite color cat? Do you like to stare in the stars? I mean, just some of the most off-random questions you've ever heard of. And then all of a sudden, when they're sitting there validating, you're like, wow, that's right on. That's so it's really amazing. So, guys, grab a sheet of paper, grab a deal here. So we're going to talk about personality style. So let's kind of jump into this. So everybody calls them something different, you guys, by the way. And I was looking them up again, and it didn't used to be that different. Today's drivers, presidential, and analytical. And there's all kinds of different crazy, the little dog cat. Toto. There's all kinds of different names for it now that I've never seen. Cynical, and I was looking, I'm like, where's the driver, the Gainable Express? Where the hell's that one at? So, anyways, go to the last page, flip the sheet to the last page. So, let's jump into a couple of these. And then John, you can chime in anytime, and we'll keep moving forward. So, the key to understanding other people is to understand who you are. Who you are. There's some pins up here too, you guys, who don't have them. You have to know who you are. And by the way, I think that, and John would agree with this, everybody's a little bit of all. But they're certainly the dominant ones.
I mean, the key of all of this is self-awareness. The higher level of self-awareness you have, the more successful you will be at, knowing when you say something like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or being able to assess a conversation or an experience with someone after the fact, just kind of do an autopsy on that situation to say, oh, I think I shouldn't have said that. That's gonna, you don't want to take it to the point of being super OCD with it and freaking yourself out and getting anxious, but just understanding how you're acting, who you are, when you're outside of who you are. If you're not self-aware at all, none of this matters at all.
Right. So that's the biggest thing I give you guys, is you have to know who you're talking to, especially because, especially in real estate, because there could be different personality sides that we're dealing with. And again, you guys look at my work, and I'm like, I've never heard of these new ones they're coming out with, right? So I've always been driver, express, and amiable, and analytical. So the key to understanding other people is to understand who you are and accept the fact that who you are is perfect. You guys, we are who we are, right? That's what we talk about making videos. You might, after you look at a video, you might go, I don't like that way I talk, I don't like my fit. Doesn't matter, that's who you are. We did the pictures, all of us, when they did the pictures up here, and Katie, me, and Mackenzie all took pictures. Every one of us hated them. We're like, oh my God, what happened? And unfortunately, that's us, right? Yeah, we can put makeup and do this and change that and all that, but it's like, oh my God, I was like, holy shit, I look like a freaking goblin.
Right, I mean, it's true. I mean, ladies, like, you can't change men.
Right.
Men can't change ladies either, right?
Right.
So you can change their environment, and they can perform differently in a different environment, but they're still who they were.
Yeah. We are who we are, and that's who we are. Number 2, work to understand who other people are and learn to work with those people. Birds of a feather flock together. Now again, and I've always said this, there are people that you'll meet and are jackasses, and generally, not always, but generally, the people they hang out with are the same. Okay? So if you have trouble with somebody and they recommend somebody, I wouldn't take that recommendation, because birds of a feather flock together. So you have to understand. Work to understand who other people are, and learn to listen to who come on, you have to work with those people. Number 3, each one of us has an individual personality style. And I've got a couple of examples here. It was actually kind of cute. Went through, I was Googling it earlier, and he's got some TV styles. We'll touch on it in just a second. So each one of us has an individual personality style, so individual. Number 4, when people are under high pressure or pressure, it is not uncommon for them personality style to change, right? And for them to behave in a totally different manner. I've seen more people that are quick to scream in anger, especially real estate agents, but absolutely blows my mind. I am not quick to scream, holler, nothing. I don't do that. Except for, I don't know if any of you guys were here a couple of months ago. There was a guy, an agent from the other office, from Summerlin. Her and her husband were here, and he was freaking out. And I told him several times, calm down. Hey, dude, I don't even know you. I don't know her. I don't know what's going on. You screaming it isn't going to help. I told this probably 4 or 5 or 6 times. And finally, he was raising his voice. I lost my shit on him. And I told him, I'm knocking the fuck out right now if you don't shut up. And everybody came out of the offices and everybody was freaking out. That was me. That is uncommon to me to freak out like that. I mean, I'm this way. I haven't done it in years and years and years. And there were people like, holy shit, he's freaking. Because I kept saying, calm down, dude. And I realized when you're freaking out, saying calm down doesn't help. But I kept saying, dude, I don't even know your problem. You're screaming it. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know you. And he wouldn't do it. So anyways, your personality style will change and behave in a total different manner. That's exactly what it is. So we've got to make sure we're watching for that. Try to be that person. John?
That's where the whole awareness comes in.
Yes.
Realizing, like, this isn't me, just kind of slowing down, backing down,
Yeah.
And that's kind of what one of the biggest things in Keller Williams' mission and all that was seek first to understand.
Yes.
I mean, that goes with everything. The personality styles. I mean, if you can master that, you're gonna have a great life, great career, everything.
And that's exactly what this guy tried to tell him, dude, I don't even know what's going on, I need to understand what's up. And he was too busy, and then his wife would start, and he would start, and he would start. Katie.
It wasn't even his issue. How am I supposed to answer the phone?
Yeah.
You can roll around on the ground. Hello?
Yeah, I told you, I said, listen, we can fight, I'll roll on the ground right now if you want to. Because I've had it with him. Like I said, he storms into our office, we don't know who the guy is. And it's from Tim's office.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
He's no
Now
longer there.
Yeah, now you know. Yeah. But Katie she was freaked out for 2 days over it.
No.
Because like I said, I lost that. I freaked out over the dude. I told him we could fight right now. You know, I've had enough of your shit.
Two grown men screaming at each other.
Yeah.
fighting.
Oh, and she was holding a baby. While screaming. Yeah, he was holding a baby at the same time, passing it back and forth. The kid was like, I don't even know. I was holding it. Yeah. It was crazy. And I think Whitney had it on film because that's what it was. He started screaming at Whitney. You filmed it. You should play it one day for fun. See Jeff freak the hell out. All right, number 5. You got to grab a sheet, guys, on the back. On the back of it. Number 5. You are born with one personality style. That style is generally not going to change. We are who we are, and that's who we are. It's funny, my daughter, she had a baby, her first grandson, and my daughter was when she was little, if you talked to her, hey, what would you like for lunch, she would do this. Hello. And her son, it does the same thing. Hey, what's up? They'll just stare at you. They'll stare at something. They're like, McFly, hello. But she was born that way, and he's that way, and my best friend, who's I've gone down to his 2 daughters, they are so expressive, so loud, everywhere, all over the place. And they look at her and they're like, what is going on with her? Because they are bouncing off walls, and she's just so we're born with a personality style that rarely ever changes.
Yeah, by the time you're 23, you're done. You are who you are. You're set in your ways, your personality, your ideals, and that's all environment.
Yeah.
Where you grew up.
Yes.
You know, who you grew up around. All of that matters, and that all shapes who you are by the time you're 23. So you can operate outside of it, but that doesn't mean you're a different person. So.
And I think that's a great point, John, is that's our job, is to operate outside of that. So when we're talking to somebody, a client, a buyer, seller, whatever it might be, to be able to know their personality style and fill them out a little bit, I think is important as well.
You can take the most introverted person in the world and they can be a top salesman in real estate, and then they just go home and they don't want to talk to anybody. So they just have to operate outside of who they truly are, if they want what they want.
Absolutely. I hired this girl at Prudential one time, and she was so freaking able. I mean, I'm sitting there, she couldn't even look at me in the face. She was looking down one time. I'm like, wow, this girl is not going to succeed. And what she do ends up selling 30, 40 homes a year. Just like you said, goes home. I was just blown away how she changed her personality style. She's still very amiable, but she knows how to talk to people and was closing deals. I was blown away. Number 6, versatility. Remember, we went to a whole deal about versatility a couple weeks ago. The ability to adapt quickly to a variety of people, personality styles, in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations. And that's why I think we don't put enough in thinking about personality styles, because we are who we are. So are there any drivers in the room? Couple? John? We got ambivalents? We got, see, you could be part of each one, guys. There are a lot of people that are amiables. What about expressives? Right? Yeah, that's me. So we have to know. I would get double roll this. Yeah. So personality styles. Number 7. We are born with a small degree of versatility. That increases dramatically when we choose to increase our knowledge of other people. We We have to increase our knowledge of other people. Increase our understanding. Increase our understanding of other people and increase our exposure to different situations. And though that line right there, every one of us do that every single day with every batshit crazy we deal with. From inspectors to appraisers to lenders to buyers and sellers to everybody. I mean, Jeannie and myself, and I told you guys just about these crazy 2 agents I've had. She's got one that's crazier than 2 that I dealt with. And how that's possible? And we're still, Katie and I are still dealing with this in the point.
Here's a good example for that.
Please.
The quicker you identify someone's personality, the more success you're going to have in that relationship. S is like the amiable relationship people. They don't like conflict. They don't like conflict so much that if you're experiencing conflict in the transaction with the other agent, they're going to want to cancel the deal because they feel bad for you. So if you don't realize this person's amiable and you're sharing all the drama that the other agent and the seller are putting you through, there's a chance that that buyer could back out of the deal just because they feel you deserve better. So if you identify them as amiable, now you can shield them from a lot of the drama that's going on. Because that makes them batshit crazy. Right? You're like, how are you? I'm the one that's dealing with this crap. Why are you freaking out? Because that's who they are.
Right.
So that's a lot of times we can head off crazy if we can figure out what they are and serve things up for them.
Try to deal with them. Now, like I told you, in my case, I just stopped responding to her emails. When she had sent me an email, I just wouldn't respond. Because I was going to send her 2-letter word back to her. But I thought, you know what, don't send her anything, just move on. I'm not going to respond. That's the way I dealt with my personality style, because I wanted to go off the deep end, and I didn't. I told you I did though. I did do an email, beep, 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 and then I deleted the whole thing and didn't send it. But trust me, I wanted to.
For me, it's like phone ring, like I'm not talking to them right now. It's like ring, ring. Hello, this is John. I got to.
Right.
I have to.
You know, it's so funny. My poor girls yesterday, I came back. I came back from lunch and they're like, "Hey Jeff, this agent called, you know, from about one of our agents, and I talked to a guy on Friday, and they handed me the note, I grabbed it, folded it up, threw it in the trash." I said, "I'm not talking to that mother effer. Screw him."
Busted out loud.
And they're both like, okay. And then I came out and apologized. I said, "Don't worry, I'll call him." I actually called the guy, just like John said, I ended up calling him anyways. But at that moment, we do that stuff, right? We all do that. When you see a colleague, we've all done it. Oh, my God, I don't want to talk to this mother effer. Hey, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Right? Meanwhile, you want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's his business.
That's knowing a personality style.
More
right there.
punchable people in real estate than you'll ever find anywhere else.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Number 8, the challenge that each of us face is being comfortable. Being comfortable with who we are, taking the time to identify the personality styles or our potential client. I think that's the most important, or our potential client. And adapting our style to their style. That's what I think is important. We got to make sure we're doing that. Adapt. Versatility.
Changing who you are. You're not mirror matching. You're
Right.
adapting. You
Right.
understand what they need, and you're giving.
Do you all remember that back in years ago? Well, they cross your arm, you cross your arm. They both hop on one leg, you're all both standing on one leg. Remember that shit, mirror match nonsense we used to do?
I would knock someone out.
Oh, absolutely. I remember that. I think I can lift his arms. Now we're both sitting there doing this. That was crazy. So, a couple things real quick. John, do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay, cool. So this is just funny, guys. So I came across this through television. I came across it through when I was Googling personality styles. I just thought it was interesting. So it said driver. Drivers are very strong personality type. Typically they have a go, get her done, or whatever it takes personality. They can seem very dominant and are quick to take action. The negative is they can sometimes come across stubborn or arrogant. Sometimes the personality can come across as brash, running over others in order to get things accomplished. What does that sound like? Here's an example. Bart Simpson, get it down, right? I thought that was cute where they did that one. Here's another one. Captain Kirk. He's a driver, right? He's always, I am exactly mine. Hot dogs, sausage dogs. Most people love them. You never want to see how they're made, right? So a lot of us stay out of that minutia part of it, and so I think that's a lot of drivers do that kind of stuff. We don't really care how it was built. We just want to get it done. I think that's where a lot of drivers are. These are analyticals. Most people reading this blog post from Hackers News will fit with this personality style. Analytical types are constantly assessing, determining pros and cons, making a list of to-do items. How many people do to-do? Say a couple. Do I want to take a job or do I want to take? Here's the good, here's the bad. I can't do that. I'd love to, but I can't. Many of the analytical types are constantly asking questions, almost to the point of getting too much information. That's like anytime I take my wife we're going to paint the house, and you go to the store, and there's 18,466 colors. Here's 6 colors, pick one of these. That drives me crazy. How they can supplement and handle this, I can't say the word. I'm not going to say it. Or analyzing situations too much. Very listen to doing things the right way, you are analytical. Just like, guys, and I have done this when you're, Mr. Burns, when you're working with an analytical. And all they want to know is how much square footage is, how big is the house, how much of the payment's going to be, how much is the down. And you're going into, it's going to be fun, look how much fun the kids are going to have in the backyard. And little Johnny's going to have the room when the sun's going to hit his beautiful face every day. They don't care about any of that shit. And we get caught up in that. So we have to really know who we're talking to. And that's why I think it's important. And if you're talking to, thanks John, appreciate it. Enjoy your class. If you're talking to an amiable, right, who care about the sun on their kids' face in the bedroom and where everything's at, and you're saying the payment's going to be in the square foot, look at this room's 10 by 12, and the bedroom on that wall, they don't care about any of that. All they want to know is how much fun it's going to be, and the kids in the backyard, right, that kind of stuff. They're always thinking of Mr. Burns, and I think there's another Spock, I think it is Spock. I don't know, Spock's probably pretty analytical, right? It's funny, I came across some of the old Star Treks. I don't know, on cable it's like Me Channel or something, 129, and you come across a bunch of old Spocks, and them shows just wow, they're funny. You see the string holding the spaceship. You're like, wow, that was high tech. I remember when Star Wars came out, how the first time that was like unbelievable, how that was even there. Expressives. Natural people person. They enjoy socializing and talking. They are great storytellers and often overcommit themselves by attempting to please other people. They are good with communication, vision, getting others excited about ideas and issues. However, some days they cannot be relied upon to get things done. That can fall into a lot of us realtors as well, because as we get into that, we want to talk about all the good things and everything in our lives. And I think we need to do that. I know that for me, myself, I talk a lot and I try to listen more, but I have a very hard time because I want to talk more. So I have a hard time. So if I do that, just bear with it. Learn my personality style. I like to talk. So I think that expressives, I think are very good a lot of times in their clothing, the stuff they wear as well. I think that's also what expressives have a lot of to do as well. Example, Homer. There's what's his name? McCoy. My bad, it's right there. You know something? I don't know if you guys anybody ever watch Gunsmoke or the old country? A lot of these guys were on there. Yes, I didn't realize either. He was a bad guy and a cowboy. I seen on Hogan's Hero the little French guy. What was his name? Do you remember? Anyways, he was a bad guy in a Western on High Chaparral last night. I thought it was interesting. And then amiables, the most common flat type personality animals are laid back and hard to excite. They seem to constantly relax and desire a peaceful environment over anything else. They will go out of their way not to upset people. In fact, the indifference can often upset the people that are trying to please. They will often wait until the last minute to make a decision, will often go with what everyone else wants to do. They are deeply emotional individuals with that want harmony. Right? You ever ask somebody, hey, where do you want to go to dinner? Well, I don't care. You play, okay, we'll be here now. I don't go there. That's the stuff that drives people crazy, is that. Example, Marge, Simpson, and then I think we got Chekhov, I think was that guy. All right, any questions about that? I thought it was just interesting, you guys. I think we really need to make sure we know what that is. Let's do this. Let's bring up Lisa. I'll let Lisa Waldeck come on up real quick. Say hi. She raced in there today, dropped off food, and raced to another meeting. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't want to be late. So yeah, no, hey guys, good morning. Just want to talk to you guys just about the importance of listing coverage, buyer coverage. The listing coverage right now, we're hot. There's no doubt about it. We know during that home inspection, the home inspectors are going to recommend to that buyer to get that AC checked out because the differentials are not going to be, where they need to be. There's no AC in Las Vegas right now that's working properly when it hits 110 degrees. None of them are testing properly whenever the home inspector's out there. You can use that home warranty to get those things fixed and checked out. Most of the time it's a bad capacitor, it's a fan motor, it's a leak in the refrigerant line, so we would fix that, the line and put new refrigerant in, saving your seller some money. I know a lot of times buyers will sit there and say, I don't need a warranty, I can fix everything, everything looks good, everything looks like it's okay. They're not gonna live in that house the same way that previous owner did. They're gonna live in it completely different. So keep that in mind, just try to talk to them, try to get them to understand that at least for the first year, for peace of mind, not knowing how they're going to live in that home. Just had one on Friday. Buyers got the keys Friday morning, Friday night the AC went out. It was a $1,300 repair, which is pretty minor, but it saved the buyer $1,200. So again, you move in, and it could have been something as silly as, happened last night too. Seller turned off the AC when they moved out, so the buyer goes in, they're kicking it on, they're trying to crank it up. Well then, it's not working, it's gonna blow a fuse or something like that. They thought, oh no, the AC's dead, what do we do? Told them file a claim. They had somebody come out and replace the fuse last night. But again, it's just those little things where you don't think about that the new buyers are not going to live in that home the same way that the previous owners did. They just, they're gonna run things different, they're gonna crank up that air, they're gonna run that, dishwasher more, they're gonna use that oven more. So just that first year of peace of mind. The nice thing about it too is the fact that they can use thermal contractors, they can get somebody out there quickly, like yesterday. They got the keys at 5:30, didn't work, they had somebody out, it was done by 7:30 last night. So they weren't moving into a house when it was 110 degrees with no AC. So we do provide a list if your clients don't have a contractor. So they're tried, trusted, true people I've used over the past 18, 20 years. So I know they're not out there to upsell your homeowner, they're actually out there to get them up and running, make the repair, make it right the first time so they can get things going. If you guys need anything, let me know, and I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, so thanks.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. I think that's a great point because I just had an agent call me yesterday. They were doing a walkthrough, and this is a great point for your seller. What the sellers did on the house yesterday, and what she's talking about, they didn't turn the air off, but they put it down to 85. So then when they do the walkthrough, they turned the air up, and guess what? It took freaking 4 hours, so they thought the air conditioner was bad. So they're calling the listing agent, the air conditioner smoke. The buyers believe the air conditioner broke. And everybody's all panicking. They went back 4 or 5 hours later, the temperature was coming back down, it was working good. So tell your sellers, listen, cut it down to 75, to 60, 76, something. Don't turn it off. Because now you're really working the system to try to get it up to cool the house again. So I think that's a great point, Lisa. All right, Heather, can we give her a big hand? What's going on, girl? No gas is gone, the cart's gone.
Yeah.
You're back.
I'm yet, but I can pretend to walk in these shoes a little bit.
I was gonna say, be careful, roll that hill.
Yeah, I can still do that. Hi everybody, most of you guys know me, I see a couple of new faces, hello. I'm a sales executive with Roth Title, and I'm here to help you get to the closing table, whether that is marketing. We have tons of classes that we offer online. I just pulled it up at onerockstars.com. If you're not familiar, you guys can sign up, get a free VIP account. It has all of our different classes. We do offer Mondays at 1 o'clock Zoom classes that are Realty One based products, and then outside of that, it's marketing for you guys, for your business. So most Wednesdays we have a good speaker, usually an outside speaker that we bring in, teach you something new. I have to rush over to the Summerlin office. We have a CE class. It is full, so if you didn't RSVP already, sorry, I'll catch you on the next one. And then I have the first Wednesday of every month at Rock Title. I'm doing a mastermind for senior housing pros. So anybody that's working in the senior space, I know we have Amy who joined us last week, and she's getting her SRES. If anybody wants to do the SRES, that's LVR is offering it next week. I think it's Monday and Tuesday in person, or you can also do it online. That's the seniors real estate specialist. Other than that, the last thing I will leave you with, and I'll leave these up here, wire fraud. I'm sure you guys are getting those emails. I get tons of emails every day. One I did open because it came from an actual client of mine that I closed, and it was like an invite. I'm like, oh, he's inviting me to something. I double checked the email. I realized after I tried to open it, it wasn't him. He said that he got hacked. So I immediately reached out to my IT department, and it was good, but the stuff, everyone's getting smarter. I mean, we get tons of stuff every day from UPS to, I mean, you guys get them. So with your clients, remind them more than anything to verify the wire instructions. It's so easy these days for a client to get an email that doesn't know better with fake wire instructions. So make sure you have them verify with the escrow officer the actual real wire instructions to make sure, and just prepare them. Tell them that they might be getting an email from a fake title company, because that does happen. So I'll leave these here. These are just some tips. If you guys want this in PDF format, just email me and I'd be happy to send you a copy. So I'll leave those here and grab one on your way out. This Thursday is a federal holiday, Juneteenth. I know Realty One's closed.
Right.
Rock Title is also closed. And I decided last minute I'm taking Friday off too, so I turned it into a little vacation. So if you need me, I'll be available through Wednesday and then again Monday.
You know you don't get paid after a holiday though, right?
After a holiday, that's okay. I barely have any vacation.
I'm kidding. That's great, thank you. Tim did a good class last week on social media, guys. It was very good. And I know he's doing another one in Green Valley on AI, ChatGPT. Does anybody ever use ChatGPT? I didn't realize that it was actually, you go to ChatGPT.
GBT.
I had no idea what it was.
GBT.
I use Grammarly. You guys get my emails. I use Grammarly a lot. But I still don't really know how it all works. If you hear me, you don't use it, you don't know how when I get my email. So a couple things real quick. Make sure when you guys are doing wiring instructions. Nobody caught that? You guys aren't doing wiring
We're not
instructions.
doing wiring instructions.
There you go.
Right.
We had an agent, it's been several years now, got his client, for some reason, didn't have his email or something, I don't remember the exact situation, but our agent sent the wire instructions, they sent them to him, he sent them to his client. Before they caught it with somebody else, he had wired $132,000. It was on a short sale, he was representing both sides. Cost him $132,000, his buyer. He ended up giving him both sides of his commission, almost got sued on the sell side because he did this. I said, you know we have a wiring form, right, about not saying wire? Oh yeah, I know that. Very arrogant. I'm like, you realize it? Yeah, I know that. Really? Then why the freaking hell did you do it? Our attorneys helped draft a letter, a contract for him and his buyer. He paid back the buyer $132,000 for the next 5 years to pay him back. And like I said, I almost blew the whole thing up. So don't involve with wiring instructions. Hey Susie, can you send me the wire instructions? I don't do that. Call the title. Don't get involved with that. So 1 year, we're still doing that. It's September. We've had several agents take advantage of that. I'm trying to blow that up a little bit. We've had several agents take advantage of that. I think it's, Katie, did we extend that to September? I think it was in September. We better confirm that. I didn't confirm it, so it's definitely till the end of the month. I know that for a fact. But I think they might have actually extended it. You guys, it's a cool promotion. So make sure you're doing that. We're going to be closing on Juneteenth. Yay! LVR dues are due again. It's like every time we freaking turn around, we got to do LVR sent us dues again. Did anybody get the survey that LVR sent out? Has anybody answered it?
Yes.
Did you answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the survey as well, and answer it too, but I'm just curious if anybody's doing that. I think we should let our voices be heard for sure, you know, I've been asking for it, I think we should definitely do that. It was funny, so I get my pills from Target, it's actually CVS inside Target, and then I'll buy something from Target while I'm there. And so they sent me an email, and they said, you know, how is our service, typically, what's going on. So I said to them, I said, every time I go, when I buy something there, it's on the shelf, and it says, 2 of them for $10. I go to the cash register, oh, that's, they're $8.50 each, and I'm like, but the sign, well, did you take a picture of it? No, I didn't take a picture, I'm not running around taking pictures of all the shit. So anyways, I put in the survey, hey, every time I buy something that says this and I never pay that, what was up? I still haven't heard from them yet.
You know what it is, because I have the same problem, that irritates me too. You have to belong to their circle club to get that price. So you get up there and like what the sign said, they're like, are you a member of the circle? I'm like, well, I put in my phone number. Oh no, this is another account that you need to have to get that special price. I'm like, dear God, I'm misleading. And rather than the cashier just swiping her card and giving it to you, they're like, that's the price. I'm like, take it back. I'm like, take it out of my card.
Right, well, that's what I said to the girl every time. So yesterday, I went there and I said to the girl, normally I go to the, you check yourself out. But I said, no, I'm going to the counter this time to talk to the girl. She rang it up, oh, that'll be, 15, whatever it was. I said, the sign said, and she said, did you take a picture of it? No, I didn't take a picture of the sign.
I mean, good customer services, you swipe the card, you get it.
Yeah, but
right,
why do we have to jump through all these hoops? So I sent that in the survey. Still haven't heard anything back yet.
You're an unemployed employee.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly right. Now, I'm not getting a pension from them. So LVR dues are due by July 5th. I think the 4th is on Friday. I think the 4th is on Friday this year. I think it is, pretty sure it is. So just pay it, and this is gonna, somebody was saying that if this one, were you saying if it's late, it's a bigger fine this time? Somebody was telling me that.
To get like totally reinstated.
Right, okay, to get reinstated, so just pay it. And again, you can, guys, if you want, you can pay it monthly, you can get on the program where you put in your credit card and it just pays it every month. Is that what you do?
Yep.
What is it, like 120 a month
I
or
don't
something?
know. I think it's 125.
Yeah, okay, something like that, okay. So you can do that, I've never done that, but I know you can. Next week, we're gonna have a really good meeting next week, Heidi and myself are gonna
Who's
do.
that girl?
That girl, yeah, I photoshopped that.
Lots of old people.
Yes. Remember we talked about updating the picture all the time?
Yeah, we would like a.
Yes. By the way, I like that picture of myself and the new one I have on my Facebook, or my email. I hate that picture. And I want to take it off, but I don't know how to take the damn thing off. So, we're talking about buyers, and it's going to be really cool, you guys. It's a really good class. It's especially designed for buyers, especially today, I think. Setting the terms, setting it upright when you're talking to them. A long conversation I've had with a couple of different agents about buyers and what's going on. But this is, if you're having trouble getting the buyers, brokers, BBRA signed, this is going to be a very cool way. It's 4, 5, 6 pages. The girls have done an amazing job setting it back up, and it's going to be really cool. You can plug your own information into it, and it's going to really set you apart from everybody else, because I guarantee you, most agents are not doing this. So that's going to be next week. We're going to do that. Heidi and myself will do it here. Probably take us about an hour to do the whole thing, so we'll probably just touch on a couple things as well. And I think that's it. That was that. Anything else good for the cause? Who has a listing they want to discuss?